Didn't see you there. I was just contemplating my next non-compliance investigation. It's me, Shawn Boyle, at the Monterey Bay Air Resources District in beautiful Monterey, California. As you can see, it is a cool 71 degrees outside on this winter's day. Hopefully it'll warm up soon. People ask me all the time, Shawn, how do you do your job? And I always tell them the same answer. I get plenty of sleep. I have a positive attitude every morning. I eat a lot of organic fruits and veggies. I have hobbies. A family. I have great colleagues, training. I use a microPHAZIR. I also, what? You have never heard or seen a microPHAZIR before? Well, you are so lucky. You are in St. Louis right now, and I have a microPHAZIR right over here. So this is a microPHAZIR. This is what it looks like. Very Star Trek, very futuristic. Future is now sort of thing. What this thing was developed for was for landfills, for their load check programs. Debris comes in, they can just hit this thing with the gun. Oh, you don't have asbestos. You can go drive on through. Well, because you got to know what's going in your hole, right? Well, we've taken it a step further and we use it for our investigations and inspections. If we have a case going, we use this instrument to help us. Let's say you got a demolition going on and you figured out that they didn't have an asbestos survey before they started any of the construction. Or there's a tenant improvement remodel going on where they're disturbing a bunch of materials. Or there's a condominium complex where they're scraping popcorn ceilings and the building's occupied. Well, an instrument like this can help you make a determination if you have a public health threat present or not in real time. So what it does is it has a tungsten bulb. So it shoots onto whatever you want to read and reflects the light back into this thing and does its computer stuff that I'm not, hip on, and makes a determination. So it's all reflectivity pretty much in a nutshell. So the cons with this thing though is it has a 10-minute calibration cycle for it to set up. So in the middle of the heat of battle, you better be good at the art of banter while this puppy warms up. But that's a whole nother thing. It doesn't give you a percentage of what asbestos is in the building material. If it's greater than 1% or not, it just says if it's present or it's not present. Another thing is it doesn't give you, let's say you got something that's got multiple kinds of asbestos in the building material, like a transite pipe where it's got chrysotile and chrysotolite. Well, it'll pick up whatever's more in the recipe, which is usually the chrysotile. How does it work? Seong, come on over here and we'll figure this out here. So what I always start with is a control sample. Lock in on that. See that 70s style BG disco sort of looking linoleum? How deep is your love, So anyway, I know this is asbestos. So I always use this as a control sample before I start reading samples. So let's do that right now. So you put it down. What's great about this tool is it can read through sample bags, which is really a huge benefit and helps protect you as well, right? So it's screening, it's doing its thing. So what it's showing there is chrysotile asbestos is present in the sample. So the next thing I do before I start reading samples is I hit something that's not asbestos containing. Like, let's try myself. Asbestos not found. That's a good thing. I know I'm full of hot air, but I don't need to be covered in asbestos. So anyway, from my asbestos collection here, I have brought out some representative samples to share with you, and let's use the gun on. So right here, this is Nicolette roofing paper or felt. It's usually found under cedar shake roofing. This is a paper product, high asbestos concentration, close to 70% asbestos. Okay, let's use the microPHAZIR on it now and let's see what it says. Of course, it's taken the background sample. This is live video, folks. Here we go. So I put it right on the substrate. This stuff takes practice, like anything. So it's showing a presence of chrysotile asbestos there. Okay, let's take a material such as this. This is a thermal system insulation. This is actually air cell pipe insulation from a fire cleanup job that wasn't going the way it was supposed to go. So let's use the microPHAZIR on it and see what it shows us, what's present. Like I said, this takes practice to hold this thing and get a good reading through these bags. So it's showing chrysotile asbestos is present there. So here's another material. Here's a floor tile that was in a fire as well. That's severely damaged. Let's see what the microPHAZIR shows us the presence of here. Again, showing presence of chrysotile asbestos is in that floor tile. So I'm a big advocate, or transite pipe is a big thing. If anybody knows me, this is something. It's a category 2 material. Transite pipe is pretty much 50% asbestos, 50% cement. It's used in majority of our municipalities throughout the country. Sewer line, water line, it was all installed about 50 some years ago, and all of this type of pipe is starting to wear out right now. So this is kind of one of the big problems we're going to have in this country as time marches on, dealing with this stuff that's wearing out. So here I got an example of stuff that's pretty much delaminated pipe. H2S gas eats this stuff and then it just starts falling apart. See if you can get in there and show some of those fibers in there. Showing presence of asbestos in the chrysotile. So a lot of air districts in California also has a natural occurring asbestos presence in their jurisdictions. So a lot of air districts actually use this gun to help them screen stuff out in the field in real time. So right here I got a piece of serpentine, which is actually the California state rock. This is where chrysotile asbestos comes from. So let's hit it with the gun and see what's happening here. Showing the presence of asbestos, chrysotile. So not only is this screening tool great for building materials that have been disturbed or anything you want to test, but also naturally occurring asbestos as well. Hey, before I close, there's one big misconception I feel like I need to talk about. It's like, Shawn, my building was built in 2005. There's no asbestos there. Or, my building was renovated in 97. I don't have any stuff there. Or, it was built in 89. Well, here's the thing, is people don't realize is asbestos is still not banned in the United States. So there's still asbestos products out there you can still get. So regardless of the age of your building, if it was built yesterday or 20 years ago, you still need a survey for asbestos. And that's one of the big misconceptions that is out there right now that really needs to be put to the forefront. And let's just say asbestos was banned today. We got so many buildings in this country that has asbestos in it that we need to deal with. It's going to take decades for us to even get a handle on it. I mean, every day on the news, there's always some school being closed due to asbestos contamination, or a bunch of workers were exposed because they didn't know they had to deal with this regulation, or some kind of contaminated site where they just discovered it to build some kind of apartment complex. It's kind of one of those things out there that we need all hands on deck. I'm counting on everybody in St. Louis to help us out. So before closing, I want to thank Bronwyn Nielsen, Seong Kim, and Richard Stedman for helping me make this video. And if you guys think I'm brown nosing right now, I totally am. But anyway, I know everybody out there, you guys put the best in asbestos, and I know I can count on you. So have a great meeting in St. Louis, and I'll see you down the road. Bye for now.